What we do here is go back.
Alright, welcome. If you're new to the channel, my name's Elliott and you're watching Rickety Ski Reviews. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little bit different. As you can see with the shirts behind me, we are officially launching Rickety Ski Reviews merch. Now, I'm super excited about this. This is something I've been spending a lot of time with because I want to do it right. I used to work in shipping and logistics and I've seen all the nightmares. I've seen all the corners people cut and I didn't want to do that. So, you know, if you're looking for your regular ski content, this is a little different. I will probably do some questions and answers, but for the first bit, I'm just going to talk about how we made the shirts, what we're doing different, and, you know, so if you want to skip ahead, I'll have time codes down below. Now, the first thing we're doing differently than most other YouTuber merch I've seen is we're actually getting shirts from Patagonia. We're making shirts. We're not making the shirts. We're getting the shirts from Patagonia. We're getting the Capilene series. We're doing base layers and synthetic shirts. So the Capilene Cool Trail shirt, which is like a t-shirt, and then we're also doing the Capilene Mid base layer. If you look really closely, you can kind of see the rivets. These are base layers I use personally. I've been using the Capilene t-shirt for 2 years and the base layer for 1 year. These are things I personally use. I went on, ordered the inventory based on what I actually like. So I don't want this to just be a cheap t-shirt made in China that you guys are gonna throw in the landfill after you're sick of it. I wanted to get something that you guys would actually use and would actually be functional for skiers, for channel viewers, subscribers, everybody who likes skiing. This is something you can get behind. The other thing we're doing differently, we are printing them ourselves. My friend Nick, who I go up to his house, we're printing them on a screen silk printer. We're doing it by hand, so there's no sweatshops involved. There's nobody doing it for a few bucks. We're actually getting our hands dirty and doing them ourselves. And it's mostly Nick. 3, the artwork is hand designed. This is not some AI cheap clip art. This is something Nick hand drew that we worked together on. I signed the bottom of it. He drew the logo and made the front logo. So this is all stuff that was made by a local artist. There is no offshoring, doing as cheaply as we can, getting someone on Fiverr. We actually handmade all of the graphics. And one thing I really love is this is a hand-drawn ski lift with a little skier on it. And these are hand-drawn trees with kind of the white through it. I love the line work. I love that this is not like something mass-produced or easily replicated. This is something Nick designed by himself, and I absolutely love the hand drawing. In fact, this is something I would get tattooed on me. I think it is so cool. And lastly, the third thing we're doing differently is we are doing this as pre-order. So we are going to take everybody's order, then order the shirts, print them ourselves, and then ship them off. So this will be a limited run. If you like this shirt, if you like this design, if you like the colors, everything like that, we're just gonna do this run, and then we'll order it, print it, and ship it off to you. So there will be a limited window that you can actually order these shirts specifically. In the future, we may do different colors, we may do offshoots, we may try other things, but for right now, if you want this exact design in this exact color, we're just doing it this way for now. So our website will go live on November 26th, maybe November 27th if it's really hard, but I've done it before and it doesn't usually take that long. And we will close it on December 10th. So if you're seeing this, get your order in before December 10th if you want one of these shirts. The reason we're doing such a limited window, I would have liked to done it for like 2.5 to 3 weeks, but I want to get this to you guys before Christmas. I can't guarantee that, but I've like talked with the Postal Service and they say, okay, if you get stuff out by this date, you should be able to hit Christmas. So anyway, that's the plan. I need lead time. So December 10th is when I will close orders, and that will be the last day you are able to order this limited run. We are not like gonna keep inventory. We're not gonna keep doing this. It's gonna be a limited run, and when you order it, and if you miss it, you miss it. We will try to do future runs. This is kind of our first run. We'll see how it goes and if we continue to do this. But I wanted to do it right. I don't want cheap stuff that's just gonna go into a landfill. I wanted a real design with a really good product that I actually use day to day. And if nobody orders them and I just made 5 of these for me, Zach, and my wife, then so be it. You know, I wanted something cool that I would actually want to own myself. And lastly, actually another thing we're doing different, I am not doing a big upcharge for these items. This Capilene thermal weight crew retails for $100 on Patagonia's website. It cost me $10 to ship it anywhere in the US for a US Postal Service. I'm gonna charge $110. I am not upcharging. I am not making this a big item. Yes, I know it's expensive, but it was expensive to begin with. I just wanted to make something cool that you guys will use. I don't wanna make a bunch of money or upcharge you guys a bunch. I am not charging for shipping, so these cost $100, $10 for shipping, $110. My thoughts on that are, if I'm constantly trying to make a giant margin for you guys, I'm not going to be able to like get a good quality product. Maybe that'll change in the future. Maybe I'll realize, okay, like the amount of time I'm putting into this doesn't make sense, or the costs of running the website, whatever, are adding up. Because I'm ordering in bulk, I am getting a slight discount, so this will support the channel long term, but they're pretty small margins. And for me, I mostly just want to do this as a labor of love for my fans. I don't want to make a bunch of money. I don't want to become a t-shirt salesman. That's not my goal. I really just want it to be something that my fans can wear, be proud of, a good quality product for them that they can have. The other thing that's different, since I'm not keeping inventory on hand, I won't be able to do returns. So make sure you order the size you want, check out the size charts. But the nice thing about it being Patagonia is that if you get a tear or you have an issue with it, it will still qualify for Patagonia's repair program, which means, I believe last time I did it, I paid $9 for the shipping label. I shipped it to Patagonia. They repaired it. If they couldn't repair it, they gave me a credit. So yes, it is a more expensive item, but you are getting that repair system down the line, which if I did other cheap t-shirts, you weren't going to get. So, you know, there is a trade-off. Like, I'm not going to be your customer support for t-shirts. I will try my best if there's an issue to resolve it. But as far as like, oh, this shirt size doesn't fit me, I can't help you with that. This will not have inventory behind it. I'm not buying a bunch of extra shirts. I don't want to have $4,000 worth of shirts. I really don't make enough to support that anyway. But if it wears out or rips or you have some kind of issue, you will have that Patagonia repair support, which I think is awesome. And to me, creates a lot of value for you guys. Like I said, I'm baking in the shipping. Even Patagonia doesn't do that. I believe you have to like order some amount before they'll give you free shipping. But for me, I'm just gonna say everything's free shipping, but I'm gonna bake that cost in. I don't know, I hate paying for shipping. So I think that's easier for everyone. So anyway, it's been kind of a long road designing these shirts. I'm really happy with how this looks. I will have more pictures on the website in the daylight. Obviously it's a little hard to see at night, but I'm just thrilled with how this looks. Also, the t-shirts, they're not so much base layers as like trail shirts. Those are less expensive, but I like wearing this shirt underneath the base layer just because of the texture and everything like that. And I found that it does a good job wicking away moisture. So, you know, we will have these Capilene t-shirts for less and the base layer for more. Just, you know, because that's what it costs from Patagonia. It'll all reflect similar pricing to Patagonia. So we will have men's and women's in the Capilene Trail Tee and the Capilene Thermal Weight Crew. I'm wearing the Capilene Thermal Crew right now. You can see how it fits. This is an extra large on me. One thing that's really nice, look at that. These little thumb holes for going into your jacket. This is a real thermal base layer meant for skiing and meant for jackets and meant for like actually keeping you warm. That's something I've had on my personal Patagonia Capilene Thermal Weight Crews, and it's something that we have on our shirts. So I'm very pleased with this. I think this is really cool. I don't know, it's all these little features that I want it to be usable. I don't want to just sell you guys cheap crap and then up market. I'd rather just give you something where this is a nice product and you'll want to wear it a lot. So as always, I continue to be failing kind of at the capitalist part of being a YouTuber. But in my mind, this is something I do as a labor of love, and I wanted my shirts and base layers to reflect that. I really appreciate you guys being part of the community, and I wanted an accessible way to be a part of the community. I know these shirts are more than your typical gill down white t-shirt, but it's just like, it matters to me that you guys have a good product in your hands. The other thing, unfortunately, I won't be doing, this will just be for my US viewers. I'm not going to do international shipping. I'm not doing Canada. It will just be for US viewers. If you're a Canadian skier and you come down to the US, you can order to that location. But the logistics of shipping, we're going to make it unaffordable. just going to like British Columbia or Vancouver was going to be an extra $30 per shirt. So that didn't make any sense to me. The logistics of getting it there on time didn't make any sense. I couldn't give you guys a good price, and I couldn't give you affordable shipping. There was just no way around it, unfortunately. So international shipping may be something I try to do in the future, but for right now, it just adds a whole other layer of complexity I'm not ready for. So I'm sorry to all my European and Canadian viewers. I wish I could do a little bit more for you, but that's just kind of where we're at right now. I've been working on this since the summer. It took a little bit longer than I expected for getting designs and kind of nailing things down with my friend Nick. But like I said, like he's doing the silk screening at his house. So, you know, there's a lot to figure out along the way. And I wanted to make sure we got it right before we put it out there. I also didn't want to tell you guys, hey, I'm going to be doing these t-shirts and then you have to wait a month. I don't want to do that. As you're watching this video, my website will be live when this video comes out. So, you know, like, that's how it is. Like it's available right now. You can buy it. I hate when people say, oh, well, I'm gonna do this and I'm making all these promises. No, I'll have a link down below where you can buy it. There is some logistic issues with Patagonia. Like this is for my channel members, so I'm not sure about a password, but if you ever see a password, it's just SKI ski. Also, this video will be available to channel members first. So channel members, you will get first dibs on the sizes. Based on inventory of what Patagonia has, there are limits to the inventory, specifically in really small or really large sizes. So members, you are getting first dibs on that. If you're on the fence, I would put an order in for your shirt right away. Like I said, these will be pre-orders, so you guys will pay. I'll put in the order and then it'll go out to you. There will not be any refunds available. There will not be any returns. You know, I'm a YouTuber and doing ski reviews comes first, but what I'm trying to do is do it through a good brand that will support you if you need repairs down the line. So I'm trying to do this everything as above board as I can, but also be transparent with you. I am not a t-shirt company. The other thing that's really nice and that I've always said I like about Patagonia is it's made ethically. They are one of the few outdoor companies out there that I think Mamu and Patagonia and most of North Face are this way, but they actually make sure that their clothing are made in ethical means. That means like there's no sweatshop with people making, you know, 5 cents a day or whatever. These people are getting paid a livable wage. These are good work conditions for everyone. And the double header with Patagonia is their clothing is made in an environmentally friendly way. It means they use recycled materials, that they use materials that are environmentally friendly. So that's another thing that's really important to me. That's why I went with Patagonia. So I don't know. I think it's a really good product. If you don't order it, that's okay too. I'm not here to sell you a bunch of shirts. This is just a test trial to support fans and get you guys into a good product while also repping a unique design that has Rickety ski reviews on it. You know, this is my handwriting. This isn't like some clip art, make it as cheap as you can in AI. So I want to give you guys a way of repping the channel. The other big thing that will be different, and this will be reflected on the website, the yellow writing here for Rickety ski reviews, the paint didn't take the way that we wanted, so this will be in white, matching the trees here. So just a heads up, if you're looking at that, you will get this kind of popping out in white more. It'll also allow Nick to do one less pass through with the paint and the silk screen. So yeah, this will be in white. That's one big change, and that'll be on all of the shirts. Also, I've been recording it here for about 20-25 minutes. Normally I need a jacket, and I'm still wearing my thermal base layer. The nice thing too is that it's got these rivets and a little bit of kind of ventilation through there. So normally I have to wear a jacket, and I'm actually pretty comfortable. What's the temperature right now? All right, you can see here, it's 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, that's enough of me talking about the shirts. I know this is kind of long, but I'm really excited about it, and I wanted to share that with you guys because I've been seeing a lot of comments and requests about it, but I didn't want to make a promise until I actually had a shirt to show you. Like I said, orders will be closing December 10th. Get your order in ASAP, especially if there's a specific size you want that's on either end of the spectrum. And yeah, once it's closed, it's closed. I'm not sure if I'll do another run. This is a specific run of this specific design, and yeah, from there we'll do different colors, we'll do different designs, but this is, and honestly, I don't know if we'll do other runs. This may be the only run I do. It's kind of an experiment, like I said. But without, you know, now that we've talked about the shirts, you're probably sick of hearing about shirts, let's answer some of your comments and questions. All right, Michael Futch 5709 says, given your race background, height and weight, was interested in why you chose the 120 over the 130 Hawx Prime. That's a great question, because the 130 Hawx Prime comes with a better strap. Like you just have, you can turn with like a wrench and get the little rivets off to change out for the booster straps, which would make my life a lot easier. But when I was in the shop, the 120 just felt better. It felt more forgiving. I probably could do a 130. It's not like they're that stiff. The only problem is I just felt like over time it would be uncomfortable, and I'd rather ski for a longer period and be comfortable than try to squeeze every little bit of performance out of my boot. I've skied on race boots, I've had stiff race boots, and I just want what's comfortable so I can get a lot of mileage in. But great question, and there was nothing wrong with those boots. The 120s just felt more comfortable. And that's, you know, it's hard to quantify a lot of boot fitting stuff. It's easy to let your ego get involved, but for me, the 120 was just more comfortable. All right, MICQ8LC says, nice skiing, I love your content. Last time I criticized your skiing. Sorry, but this time it looked much better. Thank you for all advices. Greetings from Munich. Yeah, I mean, I think early on content, your skiing never looks that great. You're always kind of dusting off the cobwebs. It's also really hard to show your skiing when it's just you. When you have someone behind you, you can kind of showcase it. And I kind of realized, you know, hey, the chest mount is just where it works better. When you're doing the selfie camera, your dynamics are different. Imagine like, you know, your downhill arm affects your dynamics. So if you have it sticking out with a selfie cam, it looks weird. I don't know, but I've given up on worrying too much about my form. I'm always improving, always trying to do better with it, but I don't know. I try not to take those comments too personally. So yeah, greetings from Idaho. Okay, Solon Tire says, you mentioned earlier this month in a sale video, you would pick up the 183 over the 176 of these skis. Any particular difference you see between the two sizes? I'm looking at purchasing via Black Friday, and I usually like my skis a tad shorter for quicker turns, and I'm also the same height as you. You mentioned you prefer that 183 for the extra width, but would that affect off-trail performance or tree runs, you think? So this is for the Salomon QST 98 video, so I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I think, you know, some of that is just me being self-conscious. I do love my 176 Maverick 88 Ti's because, you know, you can kind of make some of those fun slalom-shaped-esque turns. But when I crashed at the end of the spring, because they were a little shorter, it was easier for me to get bucked over the front. So I don't know, maybe that's just my crash, you know, where I was just being a fool and I'm being like, oh, it was the ski's fault. I think either one is fine. For the QST 98 specifically, I'd probably go 183 just so you can take advantage of that extra width. But I'm 6'1", so that just depends. Just if you like your skis a little bit shorter, go with the 176. That's totally fine. And when you say off-trail performance, that just depends on where you are. If you're in really close trees, like the glades in Vermont, yeah, I'd probably want something shorter because that shortens up the radius and makes it a little bit easier to make those turns. But if you're in a big open off-trail area, sure, a little bit of extra length will give you a little more runway and you can kind of take advantage of the width. So it just depends on what your turn shape looks like and what aspect of the ski you want to take advantage of. If you want nimble turns, you want turn flexibility, go a little shorter. If you want flotation and you want big open runs and stability, maybe go a little bit longer. All right, JK Jeff K says, I love Patagonia. They have repaired a bunch of my stuff that has been worn hard. Their stuff lasts longer and they repair it when it does finally wear out. Yeah, that's been my experience too. I had a bunch of stuff that they repaired and sent back, or I had some thinner shirts where they wore a hole just from like really, really heavy use. I was using them for trail running and even biking. And they said, okay, we can't repair this. You know, it was on a weird part of the hem. And they just gave me a credit to replace it and buy another one. That's why I'm doing this whole line with Patagonia, because I'm a big believer of everything they're behind. And I'm not even affiliated with them. I like applied on the affiliate link website and they said they rejected me. Which is fine, whatever. But it doesn't change my opinion. They still do a great job. They make high quality products and they stand behind the product, which is becoming more and more rare with each passing year, it seems like. Okay, much more says, great video. For kids, bright colored jackets and pants are so underrated. Great for keeping an eye on them when trying to stay and ski together. I agree 100%. A lot of times what I actually do is the helmets. I like POC helmets in part, other than them being really safe and well built. They have a lot of those highlighter bright colors, and then I'll put like their goggles. I'll do whatever the brightest color is I can, just so I can see my kids, or if there's a big wind drift, you know, and you can only see a few feet, Obviously, I try to keep my kids really close, but sometimes, you know, like they get drifted in front or whatever. It's nice because it is so easy to spot them and for them to spot each other. I also do the harnesses so I can grab them and pick them up easily. So that's another tip. You know, my son doesn't need the harness anymore. He doesn't need the straps in the back, but it just has a handle over the harness. So it makes it easy if he falls into the powder. I can grab him, pick him directly up without hurting my back or hurting my knees and get him back into his like stance, so to speak. So yeah, helmets, and just consider getting those harnesses. Even for older kids, if you're not using the straps, they are great. And the best part about it is the part my son struggles with the most, and I've got 2 kids I'm skiing with, 3 kids, but 1 can get on their own. But my 2 younger kids, I have harnesses on either of them. I grab both of the handles, almost like they're suitcases, lift up with my legs and put them onto the chair. It makes it so much easier to get them on the chair, or just make sure they properly get on the chair, which for me, oddly enough, ends up being kind of the most difficult part of skiing in the day. Fern Campos 385 says, Rossignol QST 106 laughing emoji. I own the QST 106. They're awesome. How would you compare the QST 106 versus Atomic Bent 110? That is funny. In my video for my ski gear, I don't know how it happened. I think I was talking with my dad about how Rossignol is retiring the Experience. Is that the one they're retiring? And I had Rossignol in the mind and I called it the Rossignol QST 106. Obviously it's a Salomon ski. I love my Salomon QST 106s. But yeah, just I slipped up and there was like 10 comments correcting me, which I earned. I deserve that. I should know better. But I didn't even catch it. I also edited it and didn't notice, which is a little more concerning to me. How would I compare it to the Bent 110? I honestly think they're both top of their class. The big difference is just in what you want it to do. If you want a ski that's gonna do big open areas, I think the QST 106, you're sitting back a little bit more and you can kind of surf through big lines more. Whereas the Bent 110, it's a little bit more forward mounted, but it also, you know, has that horizon tech. It's a little more forgiving when you get in the little brambles and you have to do like really quick turns to get to powder, especially at Bogus Basin, the really good powder spots, you have to be able to go through the bramble, go through some pretty difficult terrain. And I found that like in order to find good snow, I had more fun on the Bent 110, but once I got to like a big open bowl, I had more fun on the QST 106. The logistics though is that time I would be on the QST 106 having more fun is a very small window. It's like the first run a handful of days out of the year, and it's great, it feels good, and it doesn't struggle or anything. But the Bent 110 definitely edges it out and like, oh, we're gonna kind of explore over here, and it's pretty forgiving if you mess up the line a little bit. Whereas the QST 106, once you do get into the good stuff, oh, that feels so good. If you've ever snowboarded and like that feeling of snowboarding in powder, I would definitely recommend trying out the QST 106. But if you're somebody who likes to kind of go off the beaten path and try new lines where you have to kind of finagle your way through some bramble, the Bent 110 probably serves you a little bit better. But both tremendously fun skis, both my favorite powder skis of the year going into 2025. So great question. So anyway, that's the end of the video. I will have links to all the skis I talked about below. I will also have a brand new link for this base layer and t-shirt. These are great products. I like them. I personally used them for years before we had the Rickety Ski Reviews design on them, and I'm thrilled to be able to offer you guys what I think is a quality product. But you know, if your budget's tight and you don't want to like buy base layers or don't need base layers, that's fine too. I'm not pressuring you guys. I don't want to like, skiing's expensive enough. You don't need pressure to buy one more thing. I just wanted to offer it to you guys. If we sell 5 of them, I'm totally fine with that. That's, you know, we'll just spend less days printing. It's not a big deal. I just want you guys to have something you can be proud of and a product that will work well for you. And you know, I as always, I feel like I want to just let you know that I appreciate you guys just watching the videos. That means a ton to me. You've supported me this whole way through. I wouldn't have a channel without you. I wouldn't be able to have something I can do while I take my son to speech therapy and occupational therapy, my youngest son who has autism, and be able to have even just, I don't make much on this channel, but even just having something, there's no job I could do at these odd hours of the night. You know, I get a lot of heat for like having a weird background, but it's like, okay, but that's what I can finagle after I've gotten my kids dinner and everything. So I'm grateful to you guys. There's no other job where I could work these weird hours and have something that I love. And even initially when I didn't make money, it was just a labor of love. So if you don't want to or can't order a shirt, there's no pressure, no judgment. I just appreciate you guys being here. But if you need base layers or need shirts and want to have something that reflects your love for the channel, you have the ability. But as always, more than anything, just thanks for being here. thanks for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. It means a ton to me, and I hope you guys know that more than anything. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. See ya.